Welcome to Between Two Green Berets. I'm your host, Jesse James.
And I'm your co-host, Frankie Four Fingers. And today we're going to cover RFK's clashes with the Democratic senators during the Senate committee hearings over the turmoil happening in CDC. The DOJ considering banning trans people from owning firearms after the last mass shooting in Minneapolis. Ilhan Omar's ridiculous net worth of $30 million. And finally, we'll be looking at some of the previews for the new movie Men of War, which covers a former Green Beret, the failed coup attempt in Venezuela.
And we'll roll into the next topic. So the next topic was Ilhan Omar, right? So Ilhan Omar, her net worth went from like negative 60K or 65K to $30 million in the matter of 4 years. Like that's some Nancy Pelosi level investing in insider trading. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm speculating. I have no idea, but it sounds a little fishy. I mean, what do they make? $170,000 a year?
We were talking about this last time about how have you made $1 million? Remember that question?
Oh yeah, right.
So, she kind of got in her bag this last year, which is crazy because I haven't really heard much from her like I have in the past when, like Bernie Sanders and that other
Pocahontas,
the other one.
That's her name, Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, she's
not Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, AOC.
Yeah. They all had
Latina.
They all had like a big, thing going on in the past.
Oh man, the squad? They called them the squad. Maybe Bernie Sanders was like the weird, creepy guy that would like hang around, man, from like Family Guy. He'd be like, hey, Chris. And it's like, hey, AOC. I'll be in my plane.
Even seeing like Bernie Sanders at that Senate commission hearing, I hadn't really been paying much attention to what he's been up to. Because normally everything's they always want to, their things are so prepped, their events and all the things that they do. But so if you haven't seen, in 2023, what was her net worth? Reported net worth of $205,000. And in 2024, he's up there in $30 million. $30 million 1 year. Pretty impressive.
That's insane. I don't know, like, how. I really can't wait until there's like a deep dive into this. Like, I don't see how she went from, man, you know what? So, do you even know the reason why she's here or how she got here? She's a Somali refugee during Mogadishu, right? And when her, like the government that she was running from, her dad was a colonel in the army for the regime that was in control of Somalia, right? And then there was a coup and they overthrew her, like their regime. They were a socialist regime, dictator, they overthrew that dictatorship, the Somali people did. And they went into exile and went into hiding. I think she went to like Ethiopia or somewhere like that and went into hiding. She went into another country, into exile, into a refugee camp, and then ultimately came to America, right? And then there was a story about her marrying her brother to get him citizenship in America, right? So she does this and then ends up divorcing him and then marries this other dude who I think he's a venture capitalist and I forgot what else he did, but something like that, right? And so now it comes up to this story where she is going through like negative 65,000, then she's got 65,000 in 2021, and then she goes to having 115,000 in 2022, 205,000 in 2023, and then $30 million. That's a net increase of 3,500%. Like, who can invest like that? Unless your name is Nancy Pelosi, I don't believe it. Let's see what Mr. Trump has to say about it.
So is this net worth that's reported? That's her and her husband.
Yeah.
Because so her husband has the East St. Croix LLC, was valued between 1 and 5 million in 2024. And then Rose Lake Capital was valued between 5 million and 25 million. Combined, that's between 6 and 30 million. I guess that's where that number's coming from, which is still impressive for a venture capital firm that stood at only about $51,000 late 2023. No?
Yeah, that's what he had. I think that's what he started with, was like $53,000 or something like that to start this. That is some impressive numbers.
Yeah, good for you, dude. Good for you.
That's a 66,670% increase. Damn. That is some amazing. Yeah, man. Maybe I should have like hopped on her bandwagon and been like, yeah.
That is at the high end though. You know, I want to, like, when do you ever get to see like the actual final numbers?
There might be an investigation into this to where you will.
Yeah. You think so? Trump's going to be like, hey, where'd you get that money from?
I don't think Trump will say anything. I think it'll be the other, like House members. They'll be like, all right, look, so we definitely need to see what's going on here. Just since I think they made the Nancy Pelosi Act or something. You remember that? The Pelosi Act or something?
What's that?
Where they stopped Congress members. They stopped like insider trading pretty much from Congress members, because they know what these companies are going to do before they do it, because they're writing the laws. They're regulating these companies, you know?
Oh, you mean like when they have apps created just to follow your
trading habits,
your investments?
All right, let's see what Fox says about this.
Let me give you the perfect example. How about Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar? In February of this year, she shot down claims that she's actually a millionaire. She wrote, my salary is $174,000 before taxes. I don't have stock or own a home, and I'm still paying off my student debt. So if you're going to lie on something that is public, maybe try checking my financial statements, and you will see I barely have thousands, let alone millions. Well, people have checked the public records now. Ilhan Omar apparently has a net worth upwards of $30 million, somewhere between $60 and $30 million. And get this, it's because of companies run and owned by her husband, who in 2023 had a net worth of $51,000. In 1 year, that $51,000 grew from $6 to $30 million. 3,500% growth in 1 year. What a good communist. It's always equality for you, elitism for those in power.
Yeah, that's Fox News.
Yeah.
He just like straight up called her a communist.
She is. She's a socialist. That was the government they overthrew in Somalia, and she comes from that socialist party. Her dad was a colonel in the socialist party.
Can you imagine this like in the 50s? Well, first of all, I don't know Omar's in Congress, but that's just insane. They'd be like, communists, you gotta hang them, you know?
Yeah. I think they would arrest communists, right? I don't know. That'll be a funny topic to dig into. When was the last time a communist was arrested in America? All right, here's another one. So, with the news of Ilhan Omar's financial disclosure showing her net worth skyrocketing from $6 million to $30 million, now's a good time to remind everyone she shouldn't even legally be in Congress. She was elected by Barack Obama's CIA operation importing illegal Somalians into Minnesota. This is how Ilhan Omar got into Congress. CIA imports illegals from specific countries, concentrating them into one state. Those illegals then vote to elect congressperson who represent their home country. They then advocate for policies for their home country and the CIA wants. Mike Benz explains this process is how Somalian Ilhan Omar got elected into Congress. It was a CIA operation. Now she's getting filthy rich off of American people. Her husband's firm mysteriously rose from just 1,000 to 25 million in 1 year.
Yeah, it was the 1940s and 1950s. It was used to prosecute members of the Communist Party, USA. Dozens of communists were jailed simply for being leaders of or members of the CPUSA.
It's good.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring that back. What was it? The McCarthy era?
You have like a public, like I just can't believe that guy just called her a communist. That to me, like, is crazy.
Because it's on the rise, communism and socialism.
But not as crazy as that profit margin right there.
They believed at the time, after the failure of the Bay of Pigs, that there was no direct, immediate way to overthrow Castro in Cuba. And that was what was required instead was a massive commitment from Congress in terms of money and manpower beyond these special operations being done in the form of Bay of Pigs. But the CIA was frustrated that that political will from Congress did not exist. What they're saying here is, since we can't get Congress to take the action we want them to, we don't have the authority because the American people are not voting for what we really want to do. The other option we have is to just do mass immigration of these exile communities of immigrants and refugees. And over time, if we give unlimited support to these exile groups, they will form enough of a lobby on themselves to affect the internal politics of Congress, with importing tens of thousands of Somalians into Minneapolis, Minnesota. Lo and behold, that produces a congresswoman like Ilhan Omar, who then goes and advocates on behalf of the Obama foreign policy for Somalia and Eritrea and Kenya and the whole region. Seeing that in writing from the Cloak and Dagger Central Intelligence Agency 60 years ago, and that we're dealing with the same issue right now as we take on the immigration issue, really is a sort of Back to the Future moment.
Dude, what do you think about that? It's crazy, right? You ever watch anything from Mike Pence?
Mike Pence?
Benz. That guy that was talking?
No.
Man, so Mike Benz, we'll give him a little plug on here. But so he really deep dives into USAID, U.S. Institute for Peace. I think he worked for the state. Yeah, he worked for the State Department for a while, and he's really read into a lot of these. He's a well-versed speaker. He'll tell you a lot of stuff. He has his own YouTube channel. Really, anything you want to deep dive into, man, he'll comb through every one of these Epstein files and read through it and, find the stuff that normal people wouldn't find. He just has that, like, I don't know, that sense, or he could just see it before everybody else does, in a sense. He's really good at research. Very good researcher.
I'll check him out.
All right, so we're going to end this video right here. That's probably a lot of us talking. And, we appreciate you guys checking out the podcast. Make sure you guys give us a like, a share, comment down below, and check out our merch. Like, we're going to have our merch coming out. We're going to have a bunch more shirts, some good ones, some Maha hats, some hardcore Maha. I really want to make America healthy again. If you check out Florida, also just said no more vaccines if you don't want it. All right, so this is Between Two Green Berets Podcast. I'm Jesse James.
And I'm Frankie Four Fingers, and thanks for watching.
All right.